Imagine this, a bank guarantee has been issued, everything is agreed, and then something changes. The project timeline gets extended or the contract value goes up, and now the guarantee needs to be updated to reflect that change. Simple enough, right? But here is what it gets interesting. Who decides whether that update, that amendment is actually valid? Can the bank just issue it and consider it is done? Can the beneficiary pick and choose which parts do they like, or these are exactly the questions Article 11 of URDG 758 answers, my dear friends. Welcome back to English Trade Bites, your article by article series on URDG 758, the ICC's Uniform Rules for Demand Guarantees. I'm Ravneet, and if you are actually joining us for the first time, subscribe right now to Ravneet Knowledge Bites on the YouTube and explore the English Trade Bites playlist. All earlier episodes are right there waiting for you. Today we are on Article 11, Amendments. And let us keep this simple and practical. You already know Rahul, owner of Build Right Constructions at Mumbai, India-based company, with his infrastructure contract with the UAE Government Authority. And we assume that Axis Bank India is his bank and it has issued the performance guarantee in favor of the UAE Authority. Now, both the parties have agreed to extend the project by 6 months. So the guarantee expiry needs to be extended too. Rahul instructs Axis Bank to issue an amendment. Now, let us now see what Article 11 says about how this plays out. First, if Axis Bank receives the amendment instructions but for any reason cannot issue it, it must inform Rahul without delay, just like we saw in Article 9 for the original guarantee. The same without delay rule applies to amendment as well. No sitting on it, no silence. Rahul must be told immediately so that he can act. Now, here is the most important point in this entire Article 11, and it surprises most people the first time they hear it. Once Axis Bank issues the amendment, it is immediately and irrevocably bound by it. It cannot take it back. But, and this is an important but, the key is that the UAE authority as beneficiary is not automatically bound by that amendment. The amendment is not binding on the beneficiary unless they agree to it. The beneficiary can reject an amendment at any time, right up until they either formally notify their acceptance or make a demand that only works under the amended version of the guarantee. This is a very important protection for the beneficiary. No one can change the terms of their guarantee without their genuine consent. Now, what about the advising bank? Emirates Trade Bank has also a story. We've had that bank as the advising bank in our story. Article 11 says that once the UAE authority communicates their decision whether they accept or reject the amendment, Emirates Trade Bank must pass the response back to Axis Bank without delay. The communication chain must work both ways, promptly and clearly. Here are two more rules from Article 11 that every trade finance professional must know. First, partial acceptance is not allowed if the amendment contains two changes, say an extension of expiry and an increase in the amount. Now, the UAE authority cannot say we accept the extension but we reject the increase. An amendment is an all or nothing deal. Accept it fully or reject it fully. Any partial acceptance will be treated as a full rejection. Second, silence is not acceptance. If an amendment contains a clause that says this amendment will take effect automatically unless rejected within a certain number of days, that clause is completely disregarded under URDG 758. You cannot trap a beneficiary into accepting an amendment through silence, or by imposing a deadline for rejection. Acceptance must always be active, willing and clear. So to bring it all together, Article 11 protects everyone in the transaction. For Rahul as an applicant, always get the beneficiary's agreement before instructing your bank to issue an amendment. For Axis Bank as a guarantor, once you issue an amendment, you are bound by it. So issue it carefully and on clear instructions. For the UAE authority as beneficiary, no amendment is binding on you until you genuinely accept it on your own terms, in your own time. And for Emirates Trade Bank as advising bank, communicate the beneficiary's response back up the chain without delay every single time. Amendments in trade finance are not administrative formalities, they change legal obligations. And Article 11 ensures that those changes happen only with proper consent, proper communication, and full transparency for everyone involved. That is Article 11 Amendments Unpacked. If the series is adding value to your trade finance knowledge, my dear friends, please like this video, share it with a colleague, and do ensure to subscribe to my channel, Ravneet Knowledge Bites, if you have not already done that. The full URDG 758 series is on the English Trade Bites playlist, article by article, and we are just getting started. See you in the next one. Thank you.